Alright guys, KJHulk here. I'm making a video for the ML community channel, calling this the Build-A-Figure Showcase or BAF Showcase. Basically showing off all the Build-A-Figures from Hasbro and from Toy Biz. I actually own all the Build-A-Figures, so here we go. Let's get started. This is not really going to be a review, just more or less a quick show of all of them and a little bit about them. Alright, let's start off with the very first one, which is Galactus. Galactus was the first Build-A-Figure made by Toy Biz, of course. Had to get 6 figures in the entire series. Each one come with a part, and you build this 14-inch Galactus. Great figure, a lot of detail. Probably my second favorite, tied for my second favorite Build-A-Figure of all time. Next, we'll move on to the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. Another 12 to 14-inch figure, also a 6-figure series. One thing about this guy, they did a variant / running change. If you notice, the arms and the legs are blue on this one. They did one where they had black. So there are actually 2 Build-A-Figures that you could have made, a blue Apocalypse and a black Apocalypse. Also, he does have the arm tubes, which you'll notice that mine are missing. If you look here on the back, I do have one that's connected into both the holes in the back. That's because there was a packaging error with the Maestro Hulk figure that came with one of the arms. The arms were supposed to come with the cables, and at first packaging, the Maestro figure did not come with the arm cable. So there's a lot of people that got Apocalypse with just one cable. I also think that this is a very nice figure, a must-have for any X-Men fan. A lot of detail. I think this is one of the most underrated Build-A-Figures. A lot of people really don't like this. I do. Next, we'll move on to my favorite Build-A-Figure, which is the Sentinel. Another terrific, just absolutely great detail from Toy Biz. This guy was a 6-figure series as well. I actually have 2 of these. You can see one I have with the tentacles in and one without. Just a must-have for any collector, especially if you're an X-Men fan. Now we'll move on to another series, which was the Giant Men series. Another really great figure. A lot of people's number 1. He's tied with Galactus for my number 2. This was actually a 10-figure series. You had to buy 10 figures in this series to get a piece and build this Giant Man. As a little comparison, he's actually not as big as the Sentinel, which is the biggest, but a very good size, excellent detail, individual finger articulation, and just the face detail on this guy is just awesome. Alright, back out here a little bit. Staying with the Toy Biz Air, we'll go on to the Onslaught series. Onslaught, he's probably about a good 10 inches. He was actually a 6-figure series as well from Toy Biz. The cool thing about this series was the entire series was all villains. All 6 figures were villains. A lot of people don't like. This is their least favorite. He's okay. He has a lot of good detail. I just prefer there's another version of Onslaught from the comics that had more of an armor that looked like Magneto's. So I prefer that one instead of this one, but he's still okay. He has pretty good posability, lacking a little bit on the arms and the legs just because of the way that they did him, but he's not too bad. I'm going to back him up here a little bit. He gets a little difficult to stand up sometimes. Alright, next we'll move on to the MODOK. MODOK, also a 6-figure series from Toy Biz. Also, this was keeping in the smaller scale of the Build-A-Figures. Like I said, he took 6 figures to build. Really a lot of detail in this MODOK. I mean, he's kind of an obscure character. Not really obscure, but some people wouldn't think that he'd be worthy of having a Build-A-Figure. But anyway, he's still kind of nice. He does have able to pivot him all the way around. He does have good detail, good color, and everything that you'd expect from a Toy Biz figure. Alright, next we'll move on to the last of the Toy Biz figures, which was the Mojo series. Also a 6-figure series. Very nice. He's pretty short too, pretty small. You can get back out here and get a view of him compared to MODOK. Really a lot of detail on this guy. Another kind of obscure character that for an X-Men villain that people wouldn't think would be popular enough for a Build-A-Figure, but they did it anyway, so very nice. Now we'll move to the Hasbro Build-A-Figures, and their first offering was Annihilus. Annihilus was 6 figures to build. Not a bad offering. If you'll notice, mine has purple on the body, but if you look close at those joints, you'll see where the pink shining through. This is actually a custom I got off eBay, made by one of those guys at Pushnet, where he used some metallic base paint and painted over the pink and gave him a more accurate comic. I think he may have darkened the wings a little bit and gave him a little bit more detail throughout the body. Alright, we're going to move him back and move over the second Build-A-Figure from Hasbro, which was the Blob series. Also a 6-figure. We'll turn him up. No, he was not a 6-figure. He was a 7 or 8 figures, I believe, to build him. Really like this Blob. A lot of detail. Posability is somewhat limited due to the bulkiness size of him, but it's still pretty good. Not bad. You got to have him, of course, if you're doing a Brotherhood setup and an X-Men villains. Next we'll move on to the Ronin, which was actually technically not a Marvel Legends, was the Fantastic Four Legends. He was an 8-figure series as well. This series was kind of out, and then you saw it, and then you didn't see it. So they're not, I wouldn't say he's rare, but I think he's less of a lot of people don't have him compared to some of the other Build-A-Figures. Next we'll move on to my least favorite Hasbro Build-A-Figure, which is the Brood Queen. She was a 8-figure series as well from Hasbro. I mean, the face is pretty good, and other than that, that's about it. You have a side profile for her, so she's kind of hard to see. Another kind of weird character choice from Hasbro, as some people would say, but anyway, we've got her. Next we'll move on to the Red Hulk series, which was a Target exclusive, and they went back to the 6-figure recipe for this. A lot of people's favorites. Really nice. Pretty good detail on the face and the arms. Not a bad offering altogether. Next we'll move on to the Ares series, which was also they went back. This was a Walmart exclusive, and they went back to an 8-figure series for this one. Pretty nice. A lot of people's favorite Hasbro Build-A-Figure right here in the Ares. The character that was finally made. Really nice. I like him. We'll move him over and go on to the last Build-A-Figure that Hasbro's made, and the last Build-A-Figure we'll see in a while, which is the the Nemesis / Holocaust Wave. Also a Walmart exclusive. Went back to a 6-figure recipe for him. This guy was, of course, everybody knows the story. Debuted at Comic-Con a couple of years ago. Took almost a year and a half to 2 years before the guy finally hit retail, and then people were pretty much disappointed with the figures throughout the wave. And we'll move lastly to the last Hasbro figure that I have, which is the best in my opinion, which is the massive Fin Fang Foom. I'll just put this guy right here beside him so you can kind of back out and get an idea of the size comparison on this guy. Fin Fang Foom, awesome. He's technically, again, not a Marvel Legends, because it's actually kind of like the Ronin with it was called Hulk Legends Build-A-Figure. This guy was a 8-figure series as well. Just awesome detail and a very nice character to have. A good one to have. Definitely my favorite Hasbro Build-A-Figure. Alright, that's pretty much it for the Toy Biz and Hasbro Build-A-Figures. I will finish up with one more thing here. Let me move over a little. And this is actually the Legendary Comic Book Heroes Series 1 Pit Build-A-Figure, which was made by Marvel Toys, which, for those of you who don't know, once Toy Biz dissolved, actually Marvel basically took them over and had their own toy brand. It was called Marvel Toys. This guy's really great. I mean, a lot of detail on him. He actually has these double finger joints. Most Legends have a finger joint there, just at the knuckle, and this guy has the second knuckle, so you can make him. He really makes a nice fist, as you can compare real quick to the Giant Man just with the single. Also a very nice size. You can see him compared to Giant Man. He's a good 12 inches probably at least himself, being tall, but just a great detailed figure altogether. But anyway, I hope this kind of helped you out, give you a quick look at all the Build-A-Figures that are out there. For those of you who don't have some of them, you had any questions wondering if they were worth it. And hopefully maybe this answered a little bit for you. And if you need anything else, just let me know. KJHulk, thanks.